I think if you pick DK, you have to snowball this game super hard because ultimately DK, I love the hero. It's just a Enigma tier hero right now, just mediocre, maybe even worse, in fact. And then later on the game, you play versus an Enchantress who's going to be spamming you. Mortimer kisses. It'll be hard. I don't know what this last pick for Bleed will be. Is there a Storm in the game or something like that? I'm getting inspired from Rebellion here.
Queen of Pain still.
The actual core is DJ.
Oh, no Queen of Pain, please. I'd rather he play some tiny, you know.
Also, what's up with the Shadow Demon last pick from Quest? I feel like
it's their thing. It's their thing. I studied their draft and they would really pick SD in first phase if they want to. If they understand the opponents where they know they can't do anything towards SD, they're just gonna first phase it.
Yeah.
Isn't it that just for dispelling either the Wind Run or the Axe on the Timber?
And Monkey King.
Yeah, and Monkey King.
Dispel this game. I mean, a lot of the Western European teams do like the Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised to be picked up. In this game, it has extra value. You can, as you mentioned, I even forgot about the reactive armor. If he gets Ags, you can just get rid of that. Wind Run, easy kill. And then Monkey King, he'll just never be able to proc his Jingo, and that takes out a lot of his damage potential. So a very annoying support to play against.
You can also threaten the Chen because of the creeps, and you have your poison.
Yeah. There's the Storm, and when in doubt, just pick Storm.
The Shopify vibes were right. Although we have not necessarily seen too much Corden Storm before.
He played it a couple of times during Tour 2. Some games it was okay, but some games when they needed the Storm to win the game for them, those are the games that he struggled with. This game, I feel like it's kind of the same. You know, I feel like the Storm is like the win condition here. I'm not entirely sure how the Monkey King and the Timber can carry the game on their own. I feel like it's going to be down to the Storm, and every time the game is down to Corden, he just fails. You know, so.
Yeah.
But it's been a whole 3 weeks since we last saw him, Winter. Think of all the growth that could have happened.
Yes, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Please. Does that mean that you'll go with Bleed for game one?
It's a good Storm game.
Okay. Does that mean that you're going with Bleed for game one?
Yes.
Okay. Good. I'm glad. This is character development for you, Winter. I'm proud of you. Aurora, which way are you going?
I mean, I mentioned during the TPC games, I want to see Colin grow, you know, coming to the major. I really want him to realize, like, what he has been doing, it's not really enough when you're against, like, all the international teams. And I really want them to win. I really want to see him kill his old self and become a new
bias panel.
He will be reborn. Fear.
Yes.
Which way are you going?
I'm definitely going for Quest here because I think mid lane is going to be difficult versus Snap. In theory, he's going to get a lot of that harass off on you. You can't beat Omar lane. It's just not possible.
True.
And in the safe lane, I think the Faceless Void is favored. And this one in the late game is secured for Quest. And I think that's always a good thing.
All right. Well, let's see which way this international matchup will go in game number 1 with Cap and SVG.
That's right, we can always trust C to Flame. C, the C panelists, shutting down Corden a little bit there. I mean, they still backed him in the end when it came to the draft. They said, Winter
forced him to.
Yeah, twist his arm a little bit. You're going Bleed, right? Yeah, he did eventually go Bleed after saying that normally with the game, if the game is reliant on Corden, he usually fails. Goddamn, Winter. You feel like that's true?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I know what he's saying. Like, it's Bleed do not play through Corden as the win condition.
No.
This team is about the DJ Ice off lane and about Jackie being like a hybrid carry, depending on how much he can get done early and like winning his lane off of Dulu. It's a really hard 5. Who usually plays a very hard lane winning hard 5.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like a lot of the action is for Bleed, and then Corden's just there. His hero pool's pretty small, tends to play the same heroes. They're always like the Space Greater Rune abusers, like the Ember Pango type hero. He's kind of going to do that all the games, but he doesn't just go like 15-0 and destroy the whole game. So I think that's what Winter was saying. Winter just phrases it how he wants to, which is, you suck. But, you know, I guess that's the harsh reality of Southeast Asian Dota. They all tell each other they suck, and I guess that's why they brought in a Western coach.
Time to get good.
Misery probably doesn't tell them they suck.
Have you interacted much with Misery?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like he is exactly the kind of guy to say you suck.
Yeah, but he won't say it like that. You know,
Yeah, he'll say it with a Danish accent.
Like, let's watch these, let's replay, let's see what we did wrong. You guys did this and this and this and this. And then if you like argue back from like, you know what, you were just worse than me, you need to listen. And that's when it'll come out. But it'll be an elegant version.
I see.
You know, well, to tell you you're gonna fail. What kind of coaching is that, winner?
This is going to be at a very important, I would say, setup for Bleed. I mean, when it comes to Southeast Asia as a whole, I would, you know, with Talon obviously not being able to make it to this major and then being the most successful C team, now it's time for Bleed, I think, to step up, right? I think a lot of the hopes are put onto Bleed, Execration, you know, not expecting top 8 results out of them. Maybe they'll surprise us, but, you know, given what we've seen so far, probably expecting somewhere in the bottom 8. Bleed, I think, is the team that could crack that top 8 and get some DPC points for the region. So let's go ahead and get into this game 1 of Quest versus Bleed, and we can talk about some of the matchups we're going to be looking at.
I also think Bleed have not been able to go to these lands all year. So it's like, now's your chance to actually show you're good. You're not going to get another one. I mean, this is pretty much it. Yep. So there's maybe some pressure on them to actually show up with the big names they've had on this roster. Quest, on the other hand, have already been showing up, right? I feel like in the small amount of time this team has existed in the current iteration, they have basically impressed everybody and been pretty dominant, considering, again, how short a time frame that has happened in their rise. And I guess a lot of that goes to Amar. Like, give credit where credit's due. This guy just seems to elevate every team he's on, outside of Nigma, which was unelevatable, I suppose.
yeah, maybe that team was a little bit too.
But he wasn't playing all on the team, so
yeah,
we can't really fault him for that. You know,
that was a different situation for sure. And you're not wrong. Quest is on a crazy 6-series win streak, including a best of finals or best of 5 finals that they won as well against Secret, 3-1. So they have been looking very, very good. Watch some of the games. They look pretty damn clean, man. I know some people have them hyped up where they're like, these guys are going to get top 3. I'm not totally convinced by that, but I am expecting, like, definitely a top 8 performance out of them. More likely in that, like, top 6, maybe 4th. That's kind of where I'm expecting them to land, but...
That's a pretty high expectation, I think, for a team that hasn't really played on a major LAN at all, but... I can see where you're coming from. If they can keep up the level of gameplay they've shown, then I think that is an expected outcome. However, that's a big question mark, because doing it against the teams they've been doing it against, reasonable. Doing it on international LAN when teams are adjusting to what you're playing and looking at you a lot more and analyzing better, that's a tougher story. So we're going to see if they're going to make those adaptations and adjust and continue to improve their gameplay. But in terms of individual skill and the team synergy, yeah, that's been there. And that is a good place to start. So I expect great things from this team. I always expect great things from Amar, but his other 2 cores have also stood out on this squad. TA2000 and Noob have it.
Yeah, we've got some specialty heroes. I mean, Noob is a Snapfire mid player, and TA2000, this is probably his most prolific hero. I think it's his 2nd most played and easily one of his highest win rate heroes, the Faceless Void. But he's also matched up against a classic hero player combination, the Ice Timbersaw.
Is truly a dominant force. But is the Ice Timbersaw better than the Amar Timbersaw?
Right now, no.
So, haha.
I mean, Ice, I feel like in general, this is not his peak as a player, and I hope he gets back to that place. But
it is definitely not. I think for me, that was maybe TI6, TI7 type era, even though he played carry at TI6. He was still really good at that tournament. I think he hasn't found a meta that suited him too well since some of those older ones, and I also think he's been on a lot of teams that have... He's been thrown in the team as opposed to the team was built with him.
Yeah. You're talking about the Shopify PG team.
Yeah, I mean, that one he got thrown into, the Secret version he got thrown into.
Yeah.
Some of these C teams he got thrown into. I mean, it's a question of, like, did he even want to keep playing because of his family and all that, so... It's cool to see him still playing. Still a very exciting player. Still a wild card of a player.
Yeah, still one of my favorites to watch.
He pops off.
Yeah. This guy, I mean, this was the guy who, like, really showed me, I think, like, in that 2015 era, like, how to really abuse full aggro. you know? He was like one of those off laners.
He is a big aggro puller, now that you mention it. Oh my god, I remember laning versus Ice. He's so annoying with it.
Yeah, you would try and get like pulls off on him, and he would always be able to aggro it off of the neutral camp onto himself.
He just constantly pulls aggro.
Yeah.
Oh god, you're bringing up disgusting.
Oh man, I've unlocked a core memory for Avery here.
I mean, I hate spam aggro offlaners. They're like they're the worst breed of offlaner.
Why?
Because it's so mindless. It's so low skill and mindless. You just sit here and spam aggro on some other lane, or even on your own lane. You just do it over and over. You drag down, and basically, you can never win the lane doing that. It just neutralizes it. But you're always a little behind because you give up range creep trades, and it's if the enemies are good, they can punish you on it. But a lot of times, people aren't good enough to punish you on the spam aggro play, so you get away with it. That's why it's disgusting. Because it shouldn't work, but people are just lazy.
I will just say that off lane has classically been a role about abusing mechanics. So, and Ice has done that off lane role.
And safe lane has always been a role of abusing skill.
I don't know about that, but Corden really drawing it close here with Noob. Is he going to win this fight? Fairy Fire goes off and he gets it. First blood for Corden. Take that, winner.
Yeah, winner. Now who's failing on the panel?
And he's going to get the double water rune, so that is actually a dream. He's going to be back up to full HP, full mana pretty much. Jackie, meanwhile, 5 stacks. She's going to fall. Nothing Dubu can do to stop this coming in this late into the fight.
How do you get 5 stacks? It's level 2 poison as well.
I don't know.
And they were winning the Lotus battle, as that is on Omar. He will regen straight back up. Early frost attack creep for Omar as well, as he went the 1-2-0 build, not the 0-2-1 build. So opting to get some extra strength in terms of the early fighting power. And I mean, that frost attack's nice versus Monkey. Move slow's good, attack slow's good, sure. It's actually not the worst little creep that I picked up here. He would have wanted the Harpy, but beggars can't be choosers.
Oh, look at Jaggy abusing the pull aggro by pulling the lane down.
Okay, it's okay to abuse pull aggro. I'm talking about the guys who go there and spam aggro on every wave non-stop for the first 5 minutes. Those players deserve to be reported. I'm just going to say it. They deserve to be reported. It's mindless, and mindless things in Dota should not exist in the Dota ecosystem.
The same go with pulling behind, going behind the tower and pulling creep waves.
Yes, nobody liked that. That's a perfect example.
That was the worst.
Who enjoyed that? Only 33 enjoyed it. If only 33 enjoy something, then we should remove it from the game.
Well, that feels a little targeted.
No, it's just a good, like, benchmark. I'm not saying remove everything he enjoys, but I'm saying if he's the only one who enjoys something.
Take all love of Dota away from him. Noob gonna be ganked by DJ here. Not that I think, well, actually, maybe they can't get a kill at all.
There's just no resources on Corden.
Nice cookie.
He wanted that 6-minute rune and did not get it, as the Golem will fight Omar for it. Double damage. And I feel like Quest is getting away with this lane phase. I mean, they have the Doom and the Faceless Void, and they're going even slightly better on the 3 lanes. I mean, Corden had the big solo kill mid, but it hasn't slowed down Noob, who's just spamming out the waves in pretty even CS, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like overall, Quest are kind of happy with this. The next few minutes are going to be telling, though, depending on how the supports can combine, because you do have Enchantress, and Enchantress is pretty bad at playing into the Faceless Void lane, unless you're willing to bring a lot more damage here. However, he is getting the 7-minute Wisdom Rune. That is going to be nice here for Quest if they get both.
He does leave the support out of lane, and Corden goes for the punish here on the TA2000. Ice, though, isn't going to be able to help him out too much at only level 4. And Noob's going to do the counter rotation. Shane is not going to be there in time.
Oh no, Winner was right. Winner was way too right.
What? That had nothing to do with Corden. Corden was the one who won his lane. It's the side lanes this time that
Try round 2.
Yeah, this time they're bringing Jackie into the mix. Bringing everybody they got. Really great cookie, though. Not enough. Time walk being such a long cooldown. Corden is a little bit low, but looks like Carry has already been pushed away by DJ's involvement.
Trying to get out of here. These shards go.
Yeah, Dubu.
God damn. I don't know what that Timber Chain was aiming for.
Oh, that wasn't aimed at a whole lot. Not sure what what that was either. DJ is gonna die. Blasted down by Noob.
This is a lot of XP for the quest supports here. And not a lot for DJ. DJ is really going to be suffering here. He's probably just going to have to take mid or something. I mean, even Ice is level 4.
Yeah, they really underleveled. And they involved all 5 heroes from Bleed and did not win that fight. And Amar's just been chilling in the bottom lane free farm.
Yeah, he's just farming it up. I mean, he got through the worst part of this laning phase for the Doom versus the Monkey King, right? He got the Vanguard, he got to level 6, and now he's a threat versus Jackie if he just dooms him with a support rotation.
Cookie once again trying to help out, but this time Omar will die. Gordon picks up the kill.
Nice little action continuing to be found here by the Storm Spirit, as this hero has looked pretty dominant today, honestly. I mean, it has been later picks, which definitely help it. This is last pick Storm, so you see everything. You should have a pretty good game. But it's looked pretty solid on lane. I guess only Ice is really losing out of this laning phase, as he will finally finish Vanguard at 9 minutes, but this is a super delayed Timber Vanguard, and he's playing into Time Dilation, Doom, and Shadow Demon, plus Snap Mid. Not the easiest Timber game.
Also, do you still like Vanguard on Timber Sauce since the change with Octarine and stuff?
I mean, you still have to go it, right? Because the reason it's heroes on the meta is you don't have to go a bunch of armor points anymore. You can level up the Chain and the Whirling Death and just be way more active and have a way larger early game damage power spike. So you kind of need Vanguard to balance that out. I'm not sure what you do if you don't go Vanguard. I guess you can go just straight Octarine with higher armor points, but I don't know if the hero feels that great doing it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Dubu's Courier
Dire's
slain.
top tower is under attack.
I don't know what he was buying there. Probably Arcane
Dire
Boots.
are scanning.
But the creeps are
I
mid.
hate that this is still a thing.
Are fortified.
What?
The old backdooring tier 1 towers with skeletons.
Radiant's
It's actually
structures are
ridiculous.
fortified.
He's pretty much going to solo this tower at top.
What are you talking about?
Radiant's
this
bottom
thing.
tower
Yes.
is under attack.
I mean, yeah, he got him. I mean, that's just high skill right there.
He did 90% of the tower with 1 creep. Amar is going to be in trouble. Gordon continues his rotations around with Storm Spirit. He's being very
Is
active.
under attack.
I can't help but thinking, though, I really wish that they had a Cuddle or a Pugna.
Because feel better.
Gordon, like, he's making a lot of good active rotations right now. It's just you can't keep that up with Storm Spirit without having somebody to refill your
Yeah,
mana.
man, that's why you want the battery here, because we're seeing it in the net worth. He's 4-0, he's made the moves, but the problem with making these moves when you run out of resources, you can't farm anything up, and then you're just dead on the map.
Yeah.
So it's not really making Gordon's game that good. He's actually falling slightly behind as he makes these plays, but it will be very nice for the supports on Bleed, as both of them have gotten a lot of gold out of these kills, and it's caught their XP back up, which was really important. This was for sure the correct thing to do, even if you wanted to play greedy. And once more, the push comes into mid off of that Ench creep. No resources on Gordon to contest a fight here, though, and maybe Quest know it. Time to play aggressive if you want.
Oh, I like that. Look at that. He pulled the creep wave. So the Siege Wagon, they're going to have to tank for the Siege Wagon.
Yeah, but he
Noob
has
does have the
shield
shield room. That's going to help a lot.
This is a lot of tower damage getting done.
Dire's bottom
And
tower
the
is under
Hadouken's
attack.
going back as well.
Radiant's middle tower
And they still have,
is
like,
under attack.
Disruption if they want to use some illusions or something.
You don't even need to commit for the tower. I think you're very happy with this damage. Forcing a little bit of rotation, and then you're still getting all the CS here from you, whereas Gordon is still sitting on low resources. In fact, you're going to get the tower.
Yeah, the tower's going to die.
No deny. That was like the easiest deny of it.
Yeah, he just really wanted to kill instead. They'll be able to set up on Noob, so at least they'll get that bit of a punishment, I think.
Will they?
Right? Uh-oh. He's
Will they?
actually going to be able to walk away from that. Oh, man. 2 core gank and a support in there, and they get the Chronosphere onto 2, being able to kill 2 heroes with it. Boy, that could not have been worse for Bleed.
The tankiness of Noob right there. Almost having the full Atos plus that Bracer and one.
Yeah.
Just walked it all off. And that was the downside of no resources on Gordon. Imagine he just gone to base and healed and come back. Instead, he lingered for so long. Really cost him there. Big time, as now you're giving more XP and gold to a faceless Void who had a pretty decent laning phase. That's just too easy of a chrono.
It really was.
Man,
Dominating streak being given away there, so 600 plus gold.
about the same. My man, TA2000, he's looking like Yatoro out here, but maybe Yatoro's looking like TA2000, you know what I'm saying?
I guess we'll have to see. I know Spirit is doing okay for themselves at the start of the group stage, so who knows? Maybe we'll get to see them. Are they in the same group?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like Faceless Void is pretty good. I don't know why I think that, but I think if you abuse early time dilation, the hero's pretty strong. As long as the rest of your draft isn't too greedy.
Yeah, it doesn't require a lineup that isn't too cooldown dependent, right? Which is kind of interesting that Quest have 3 different long cooldown ultimates on their cores.
But their lineup doesn't feel slow. Snap mid.
That's true. Snapfire, even though it's a long cooldown, this hero is still very active, right? Pretty fast.
That's what I'm saying. I think when Void is in these drafts where you're fine taking fights even without the chrono, which I think Quest easily can here. Like him TPing into a fight that someone gets purged in, someone gets kissed in, and he just jumps in and dilates people. I think that's an easy fight for TA 2000 to join. And I think those are the Void games that feel the best.
It's probably has to do with like maybe some of the kill formula. Like when Chronosphere just kind of guarantees kills in a team fight. That's pretty hype for a hero that goes late game better than anybody else.
That's very true. Especially if people aren't picking chrono saves. Like Wyvern isn't in the meta. Oracle, Shadow Demon kind of are, but a lot of times the Faceless Void will see the supports first. So like, what are you really afraid of? And I feel like a lot of the summon or the Void abusing offlaners fell out a bit. Like Geno, we don't see this hero at all.
Sure.
Night Stalker,
Yeah,
he doesn't exist.
dead.
Beast is in the meta, but Void actually is a safe laner that does better versus Beast now because it's an Axe-based Beast, not a Summons-based Beast.
Right.
So Dilation and Leap are good on lane. Like, we've seen people pick the Void into the Beastmaster. I mean, that hero's just insane. The Timbersaw you're fine with. So I don't know. It's like, what offlaner do you want in this meta versus the Void to really just, like, insanely punish him?
Yeah, that is a good point. A lot of the heroes are just out of the meta.
Bounty Hunter?
Necro is another one that's out.
I mean, I'd say, like, offlane Wyvern probably destroys this hero, but
That's true. We've seen a little bit of core Wyvern here or there. The how's Ice's Timbersaw doing? Because I feel like Bleed need a way back into this game, and I have to assume it's going to be playing through this guy. He's got Arcane Boots, Soul Ring, Vanguard. I feel like that's close to go time.
they're going to force it without him.
Yeah, like Jackie is being super active, which is his MO, and which is going to get him killed here. He's going to keep taking damage from the kisses, and eventually somebody is going to put the damage to him. He's going to be the one. Dubu, caught up by TA 2000, pretty easy kill. I feel like you should be more active with your Timbersaw than your Monkey King at this point. Am I crazy for thinking that?
I mean, Ice does get a lot of space off this. Kind of wanted the time to catch up. I feel like that move was just a little too aggressive. I don't mind that 3-man smoke with the Monkey because Jackie's an active carry player, but it's just too hard of a position to go in, like, at this point in time. I don't think you have the strength of the supports. Maybe with the Storm it's better. That did feel very awkward.
Same thing with when it came to defending the mid tower, right? Jackie went to defend the mid tower when they went for the kill on Noob, and Ice did not. So we're gonna watch DJ get picked off.
God, the Kobold killed him.
The Kobold killed him?
I think so. Dang. It looked like he got the last hit. Well, I'll check it out. It doesn't even show.
They get a lot of items coming in. Ether Lens already for Omar. So he is looking very good. Noob's got his Boots of Travel, and the Octarine was finished up by Amar as well. So Octarine and Amidas, like, they are going to be cooking. And Bleed, they need to react soon. They want to have any chance of being able to play this game. I feel like you have to start winning right now.
It did kill him.
The Kobold actually killed him?
He got last hit by the Kobold for 11 damage.
Nice.
Get wrecked, son. Everybody lending a helping hand here.
That's the true gold generation.
Or what were we talking about? I was trying to find the Kobold.
Really obsessed about that Kobold last hit, huh?
It just looks so funny.
I was saying
We
that
got a replay of the Kobold last hit.
I don't think they caught it in the first place, though.
What do you mean? They definitely caught that.
I was saying Bleed need to start winning the game right now.
Oh, yeah, they're in
up
trouble.
against Hannah Midas, Octarine, Doom, and a late game Faceless Void.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say. The Octarine Midas already kicking in for Amar, and he is getting big real fast here. You're in trouble. You are in big trouble right now if you're Bleed. You are not going to win this game.
Gordon! Oh no, we got hit by the Rod of Atos before he could get the zip away, and they're going to use the Chronosphere just to ensure it. They actually did get a bash, so they may not have needed it, but
why not, right?
better be safe than sorry.
Yeah. Are you afraid of getting tempoed out in this game?
Yeah.
Hell no. So you may as well just use this Chrono as you want on who you want. Let's continue to spread the map here, play with their 3-man hit squad.
Ooh, kisses for this one, huh?
Just exerting some pressure.
Yeah, it is some pressure. They're not going to kill anybody, but they did do damage.
I like this idea, though. Like, just going mid and throwing some spells, getting reaction on Bleed, because look at what's happening on the map. You have Doom and Faceless Void clearing up the side lanes, and this is your time when Chrono's down. This is not the Cobalt cleanup. This is the Chrono cleanup, though.
Like, Bleed smokes up, they run into Kaori. Not a super great kill to get, to be honest, but better than nothing.
Didn't cost him too much, at least. And continue to look on the map. And we're still waiting for Ice's impact in this game.
Yeah.
Like, he first faces Timber, and if first phase Timber gets shut down by Face's Void pick this hard, it's not a great first phase. It's gonna try and turn it around.
They're gonna go back on Gordon here, completely out of mana. Not completely, had a wand, maybe he can zip. No, he goes in place to try and do damage. Nice kill on Omar, though. Ice did manage to time that well, gets the burst damage. Jackie defends himself up against Amar, who goes for the Doom, got him on top of the trees. He's gonna hop down and run away while Ice comes in with the cleanup kill. Jackie actually came back into it. Amar is not dead just yet, and DJ can't finish him off. Meanwhile, his cores are all gone.
You just arrives in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, he does.
Even gets DJ
Radiant's top tower
with
is
the
under
courier
attack.
delivering the spots at the end. I mean, Ice made his impact. Like, he dealt the most damage there, but it just gets put on this Doom who has 2,500 HP. Way too tanky, man. And again, the resources for Bleed, the resource management has just not been there this game. This is a fight where your Timber's basically out of mana. Your Storm jumps and gets nothing done and is out of mana. And Wukong, it chunks Amar, but it does not finish him.
Yeah,
That
frankly,
is a fight.
that part of the fight was probably better for Bleed than it should have been. And it still wasn't enough. Game is looking real bad.
Yeah,
real bad for Bleed.
This is looking like winner's prediction coming true. As all that early game momentum Corden built has evaporated here. And he's almost getting surpassed by Kaori on this edge.
Yeah, who has done a crap ton of building damage, by the way. He just keeps on fighting these trolls and keeps on summoning a giant skeleton army with all the rally.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's annoying.
All
for
right,
Bleed to respond.
that's not all right. He has done far more than 177 damage. That is just him right-clicking.
Listen,
We include his. It cannot be including the summons. There's no way. Because he soloed a tier 1 tower, basically.
Oh, well, that's
Radiant are scanning.
something for JJ to look at.
Get it fixed, JJ.
While he's looking at adding, you know, some of my other recommendations.
Yeah, we might have a few suggestions. 6-14, 11,000 net worth lead for Quest.
20 minutes. Why not? Chrono's up. That seems very difficult.
You roast this early with a Faceless Void lineup, you got troubles. You got problems.
This game is just feeling.
Very much so.
I mean, you went Deso on Jackie too.
Is under attack.
This is itemization you need to be finding the fights to power it up. Work it for Corden, even more so. You're just leaping on TPs that aren't there. You're out of resources again.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of TPs canceled. Not all of them, though. Still enough to be able to defend this tower. So Bleed really didn't get anything in return for losing that Roshan. They're going to drop the Wukong Shenanigans here with the stun on it too. They're going to try and blow up these heroes, but the Orchid isn't going to be good enough. The BKB goes off on the side of Amar. Gordon does manage to jump away, but he's going to have to leave. Oh, he's not going to be able to jump away. TA2000 still able to run him down with the time block, and the Doom is eventually going to wear through our Monkey King from Jackie.
Amar's just too tanky.
Runs him down. He is.
Like, Doom is way too much HP. He even has the strength fan brace on top of BKB, which was finished for that. Just baits it all out. He knows he cannot die. At the start of this fight with 3,000 HP, they throw everything on him. This feels like the game fight in a way. It's like, this is the fight you need to win right here with your Orchid Deso timing.
Yeah, 100%.
You didn't get a single core out of it. The dispels are already online for this Orchid. This is where we go back to that game we watched earlier from Shopify where Abed got the Orchid on Storm because he was snowballing. This is not a snowballing Orchid Storm.
Yeah, it's not really, you don't really see that many Orchids anymore on Storm Spirits. And it used to be a snowballing item. If you're going to get it at all, it has to be a snowballing item. I don't think there's ever a comeback Orchid.
I mean, the dispels are already up for all 3 of Quest cores, and both their supports, in theory, have a save. I mean, Shadow Demon is killable here, but Amar already has a blink, so it's not that necessarily straightforward. As Amar is fighting without the Doom, he does not care.
Yeah, and he might actually be forced. Yeah, he is. The Boots of Travel is going to come in. Rod of Atos locks down Jackie.
Tips are flying. Amar says it's great to be back on land.
I'm sure the entirety of the rest of the professional scene is very happy that Amar is back and going to be aggressively outplaying and out-tipping them all the time.
I mean, I'm glad he's back.
Oh, me too. He adds a little spice to it. But if I was a player, I'd hate it.
Yeah, probably. I don't have to play with this guy, so I'm glad he's back. As the Skeleton Boys are back to work, hammering and rallying their way through another tower. You're right, he has definitely found a lot of these trolls. Let's put him to work.
Gotta be his favorite summon.
Another early high ground for the day. 25 minutes. A Faceless Void takes your tier 3. That is very terrifying.
Well, your solution is you have to go late game now.
What is your late game? 6-slotted Monkey and 5-slotted Windbreaker support.
And Storm Spirit with that Aghanim Scepter to set it all up.
I guess in theory, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
I mean, actually, technically, I actually think Bleed kind of win late game if they were full slotted, but are you ever going to get the full slots?
Probably not.
Amar is going to taunt Ice here. Refuses to do him, but we'll give him the high 5. So he's in good spirits. Wow, he canceled both Timber Chains. That was...
I actually didn't realize this is an interaction. Ice, 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 and Amar. Something about that. You know, the guy who's like aggressively BM versus the guy who just like probably gives the least shits.
Oh. And he evaporated.
He died so fast.
What the hell? He just got bashed. Yeah, just get bashed.
He got Manta bashed.
Man, he dealt 1,500 damage in 2 seconds. That's a lot of damage.
Against a hero that has pretty high armor. At least Storm Spirit has high base armor.
I mean, a lot of it is like Time Lock, Maelstrom. He's just mega farming. He already has Scotty down. Yeah, this game is pretty toasted. They're gonna find Jackie in the tree and hurricane him down.
Roasted, toasted, and burned to a crisp. That's going to be Elena Barracks dead at top, a carry dead at bottom.
They're going to look for a Q bottom. Might be able to get him with the jump.
BKB locks it up. Okay, noob, yeah.
No BKB for you. Haha, you may have gotten our racks. But we got your Snapfire and the streak, and that is a 1,500 gold kill.
Reasonable.
5x streak there. I mean, you're only down 20k.
Hey, you can get a Kaya and a Pipe and a Maelstrom pretty soon for the Wind Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got this.
Things are looking up. I mean, I've seen worse deficits for a C team.
Yeah. Got him. Disruption. Slowing Jackie down. He has to use the Wukong's command just to try and survive this, but Amar, he's going to pounce for it, push him out of the Wukong's command, and then walks away. That's very nice.
Man, the double purge request just makes this game so straightforward. As Amar will bots, probably a distance he could have walked it shorter, but he doesn't want to use his legs. Save the effort.
Yeah, gotta save that for game 2. Because game 1 is very much over, and Bleed are finally gonna call it GG.
I think there's a world where Bleed can win this game if they like really outplay them on the lanes, but this draft just seems so quest-based. Like you're playing mid-ranger, Monkey King to double purge with the Shadow Demon, and then time dilation kind of destroys your supports plus the Timber. You can't really kill the Enchantress on the map. She's outpacing your Chen. And then Sapphire, in theory, has a guaranteed good lane mid, so you're not going to be able to play through that advantage. I don't know, this game just looked too easy for Quest. Like, your Timber just got thrown to the wolves. Maybe they have to go and play through ice better, but I feel like they did try that, and it almost made it worse. So, not much going for Bleed in this game 1, but Quest looked great, and that's a good sign, because this team is pretty fun to watch. They do a lot of cool stuff. They're very mechanically skilled. They're all on the same page on the little things. Very strong laning phase team. Pretty good late game team with Amar leading the helm.
And for going back to Bleeds, I mean, our coverage of them during the DPC compared to this performance now, what's missing? Because they got here in the first place through the DPC.
Yeah, I mean, I was not convinced by that DPC. I think this team still has a lot of things to fix. Mainly their offlane. I still look towards Ice DJ offlane. Yeah, it's big names, whatever. Put that aside. Even this game, like, the impact is just not there. For a first phase Timber, you gotta make something else happen with it, or enable it more, or put Ice in a better position to snowball. Yeah, that is just a black hole of network.
All right, well, I'm sure our panel has lots of suggestions for Bleed.
I can't wait. My ears are open. I'm coming in with this with a blank slate, because Cap was right. They got here. They got first place in the Southeast Asian DPC. So clearly something fundamentally was going for them, but maybe part of it was what wasn't working here, because a great deal of it was Ice, and DJ doing well, and that did not happen this game.
Yeah, on to experiments again.
Uh-oh. Why are we experimenting?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like they already know the formula. They need to pick Cordon's hero early and not show the lane of Ice. I feel like he's going to be like a very key role in the team. He needs to get a very good start. And I don't think they should be prioritizing Timber as much, because they are not swapping him as a flex pick.
But Timber's top tier.
I know, but not for them. I don't think it should be a top tier hero for them.
And you're giving Amar Timber.
True. You gotta pick your poison.
Fans.
If you don't pick it first, then Quest is gonna pick it.
I feel like the problem is, if you want to take the Timber away from Amar, you cannot pick with Ranger, because ISSS and DJ, right, they need to be doing different things. Otherwise, they're gonna end up competing, you know, for the resources, the farm. And I mean, obviously, Cordon didn't really move towards the side lanes. As we saw, like, he got a solo kill. Like, it should be all you need to move people.
He did go to the silence at 6 minutes. But he actually got Ice killed when he rotated top.
Yeah, so it's like his understanding of the timing to rotate to silence is still very wonky, you know, like we see from the DPC games, like he's just going there to, you know, like, oh, I have spells, I can do this, but you're not understanding that how can you, like, make sure if you can't kill them, you have to kick them out of the lane. He's not doing that, so I just think like having DJ and ISSS compete against each other, and then like Cordon not knowing.
Will one of the mid laners be able to do something to Ember?
I mean, we talk about the Ember versus Snap in Liquid versus Shopify's game. I just think Ember is not a hero that would just get kicked out of the game if it's not Monkey King or Huskar.
It's a pretty good Monkey King game, right? You pick Monkey King, you win the mid lane, you buy Diffuser against the...
But is it a Jackie hero? In this type of...
I mean Cordon hero. I was thinking of
Does
putting.
Gordon play? Oh, there's her. I was gonna say, does he play in Huskar at all, Gordon?
Not that I
no.
know of.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure he can play the hero, but in the officials, they've not
Can't
picked
just
the hero.
win your lane with Huskar.
No,
It's not
you
good
gotta
enough.
finish the game.
You really do.
So who's mid? Is it Snap mid or Underlord mid?
Probably Snap mid. Then the side lane will be Rubik plus Underlord, then Elder Titan with the carry. That's what I'm assuming. Just looking at the drafts, like Rubik plus Underlord is a much more stronger lane.
But is it good enough against Undying? Because like, I feel like the lane is strong,
Just
but
pull the wave, I don't think you can do much, pull the wave.
you're just gonna give TA 2000 free farm on Medusa. So what's your answer to that later on in the game?
I mean, there's still a Phantom Lancer. I think that could be a decent one.
During week 2
Stumped.
of Tour 3, we were very impressed with seeing Elder Titan as a Medusa answer.
Yeah.
But then, whenever we went to Dream League, like, no one considered it. No one it doesn't matter what region. Everyone just forgot that ET can deal with
Yeah.
Medusa.
Theoretically, it's good, but in the actual game, practically, it's not that easy to execute it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any counter plays?
Is Arc Odin good
To
enough?
wake her up.
Like you could before you'd play like Oracle or something, and that could just stop the sleep with the Purifying Flames.
Yeah, but I think on Medusa, I actually don't know how that works. Does Purifying Flames hit her mana shield first?
It should, right?
I would
Yeah.
assume
Yeah.
so.
That would suck then. But you can also queue it off too, I believe.
That's true. It's a weak dispel.
But do you want an Oracle when you have a Techie's Undying? The answer is no,
No.
unless Amar is going to bring out the offlane Oracle
Dude, hell yeah.
at the Bali Major.
Quest are banning out Jackie carries. They take out the Terrorblade, they take out the Naga Siren, and Bleed, as suspected, have left nothing but Amar heroes. They took out Timber, Doom, Tidehunter, maybe his Mars as well. Yep.
There it goes. I'm telling you, Amar, he's humbled a lot
I think so.
over the time. Like, he's starting to play new heroes. I saw him on a Magnus a couple of times.
Okay.
He was playing anti-mages in the offlane. He loves Slark offlane too. I don't know if he'll pick it this game blind. That wasn't so good when he picked it blind, but when he sees his matchup, he's building his hero pool. And I think that's a good thing for the team, because a lot of his past teams, I think, were not so happy with the fact that he had such a limited hero pool. And he's on Quest, he's been building that hero pool up, and for the most part, it's been looking pretty good. But in this situation, I'm not entirely sure what he's going to look for. He doesn't know his matchup.
Yeah.
He has a Dusa, so...
Not many options remaining. A lot are banned. The good neutral heroes that are banned. Oh, there's still a good.
He's building his hero pool. We've been talking about, but I did not
Amar
expect
Micro? Is that a thing?
this man has been training hard
Okay.
in the time chamber,
What do you
learning
do?
how to micro,
Don't need to micro if you don't take your ult.
or we're gonna get a 1-1.
But he's not out of the chamber yet.
Yeah, what do you do as Bleed? You need to pick a hero that can lane against Brood, and it also must be
And
good
carry
against
the game.
And yeah, it also must be good against Lusoff. There's still
Yep, you
Slug,
lost me there.
Slug, PL. Those are the heroes that are available, but they're not even that great.
They don't even have damage to
Slark is probably the one, actually.
enable the slug, yeah.
There's still Bloodseeker, but I don't know how good that is against Dusa.
It's the worst matchup in
Yeah.
the game for Bloodseeker.
Intriguing.
How about Elk? Oh,
I mean, like, the thing is, Medusa, her HP never gets low for Thirst.
That's true.
You get ruptured.
She doesn't want to walk around
Doesn't
anyway.
really give a shit.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they were left with nothing else but Monkey King, which the Diffusal build is still viable, but how does it deal with Broodmother in lane when you're missing all of your attacks?
I feel like he should just go Maelstrom and farm. I don't think he
I
should try.
agree.
I don't think he should try to fight early. Like, early is going to be very difficult against the Tombstone. You don't want to be going those items and thinking that, oh, I'm going to be able to hit the Dusa. Then in the team fights, chuck the Tombstone down and you can't even touch the Dusa. Then why even bother,
I feel Quest's lineup is good at attacking the Roche, but Bleed's lineup is good at attacking the team that takes the Roche. It's like you're focusing on getting the Roche, right? And then they can find a way to kill this Undying first, and possibly this Techies as well. So I feel Quest heroes, like, the cost without their supports are nothing, They can't really chase, they can't really, like, burst someone, they can't even, like, make someone stay, yeah, there's chains, but, like, when are you gonna get level 4 chains, It's not gonna be enough.
Based off scaling and execution, Quest severely outpicked Bleed here.
Yeah.
I think Bleed's draft is very difficult, like 10% chance to pull this one off, but if you play better than an opponent, maybe it can work. Like this Monkey has to have perfect arenas on top of the Medusa, dream scenarios. And if that doesn't happen, we're going to see something like last game where it's just, you feel like you can't do anything. And then the game is just going to slowly slip out of your hands. So Bleed just can't step off the gas in this one.
I like my 10% odds. Let's see if Bleed can pull it off for game number 2, or if Quest are going to get themselves a 2-0 with Cap and SVG.
Ooh, 10%. That is incredibly low. Avery, surely it's better than that, right?
Yeah, it's better than 10%.
Yeah, what's it at?
Did I convince you?
Not really, no. Especially if you don't actually give me a number.
I'd say it's like, I mean, it's got to be at least like 13%.
Okay. 13%.
No,
Very optimistic.
It's higher. It's higher.
Come on. On the other side, we have a Mar Broodmother who's actually has played Broodmother once before, but only once. This will be a second game of professional Brood.
I mean, Amara on Brood means it's got to Bleed have at least a 40% chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Broodmother is more of like a right-clicking hero and actually kind of scales
That's a
really
question.
well, which actually really fits Amar's
Yeah, it does.
pool.
And I haven't seen him play it in pubs.
So maybe it's back to 13%.
He has been grinding the hero. Yeah, maybe. I mean, he can also just not
30
skill.
seconds
That's
to
fine
battle.
too. We'll see what happens. The one thing I like about the Bleed lineup is the Monkey. This Monkey King will deal with the Brood and in theory deals with the Dusa and has a good matchup versus Ember, though that isn't really a factor. But the one combo I like is you can sleep the Dusa in the middle of the Wukong. And that is nice.
Yeah.
That's real nice, because then you're just stuck there and you can't wake up for 5 seconds. You're getting hit by all the soldiers. That really helps skew this matchup, like a lot. You can even just run in with the ET and remove all her armor. She evaporates, though that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I was about to say, that doesn't matter.
But once she's out of mana,
but yeah.
then she's gone, right?
I mean, your first point made a good amount of sense, right? We get Diffuse a Blade, stomp the Dusa, run up Wukong's command. She's right in the center of it.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
And you throw an Earth Splitter on top. It's a nice combo.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, the reductions on Dusa do matter sometimes in the later game when she has a because she gets up to 1500, 2000 HP, and a lot of times Dusa lives off the HP and then she like cheeses up. Or she gets loaded. Or, you know, I actually don't think it's insignificant. I'm not gonna say you should pick reductions into a Medusa, but the Elder Titan one is not insignificant, especially the way the Elder Titan plays the team fights and stuff, where you go in with the sleep and you're trying to kill her off that burst. So I like that combo from Bleed. If they can get their cores going, I do like their draft. I think their draft is fun. Like, you have to play faster than the enemies, you have to execute the lanes well, but if that happens, I think you can punish the greed from Quest in terms of they want all 3 cores to get a lot of items in Network. And, I mean, is Amar Brood a thing? It is a thing, but is it actually a thing?
Yeah, are they going to be able to beat not just Div 2 teams? Are they going to be able to beat major attending teams?
Well, I mean, this team was kind of a Div 2 team for most of the year.
Oh, Bleed?
Yeah. So I don't know. That was
DJ almost had him there. TA 2000 almost got put up on the cliff.
But he did not get put up on the cliff, and that's what matters here, is he'll finish up his Bassi, give his Undyne some extra mana regen. I like this idea.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Continue to farm. We'll see how much farm T2000 can get after Fear's high praise. That was very high praise. I don't think I've heard Fear praise any player as much as he praised TA2000 in that last panel. It almost makes me suspicious, like, this guy got a payoff or something.
Yo, bro, I'll slip you a 20 if you talk good about me on panel.
I mean, okay, that was... Look, when has Fear ever praised a player like that?
Yeah.
A fine connoisseur of carries? What is he even talking about? He's like, oh, this is the best vintage carry. This guy played with Sumail, got carried to TI by Sumail, and if you ask him how good Sumail was, he's like, yeah, Sumail's pretty good.
Yeah, he's alright. Nice first blood for Carry. So this lane is already going very well. And just being able to get first blood means probably you're going to be able to get the Lotus. The The Lotus just means, I mean, it's really powerful on Jusa, or you can use it on the Undying, who could definitely use the mana to win this place even, this lane even more.
I mean, this is a tough lane. You have a Rubik into an Undying. It's already a pretty heavy lane matchup in terms of the Undying can kind of do whatever he wants here. You have to pull ways, but again, I go back to this. This bleed off lane just continues to not impress me overall. I mean, we're still early in this game, but I feel like the lane is... I don't think I ever saw them win their lane in a lot of these games. Yeah. There's something about it. It's not clicking at 100%. We'll see if they can make it up in the mid game. As Jackie is also going pretty much even with Amar, but that's not necessarily the greatest sign in the early ways for Monkey King. Another snake comes through bottom.
Yeah, another time the Monkey King has not been able to actually win his lane against Amar.
I mean, this is the big timing with the level 2 Jingu. This is like the early monkey power spike on the lane. The Brood is just very fast, and double Wraith Band already up as well. A lot of extra armor going into the Brood Mother with level 2 web. I don't know if Bleed are going to be able to extract anything else out of this lane. I think Amar is just going to freeform up here, and that is very good news for Quest because they're winning their side lanes pretty well now, and Noob is doing fine mid. Like, again, the Snapfire with the Spirit matchup is not getting the punish you necessarily are looking for in an ideal scenario. It's just getting traded out. I mean, if you have this start and you manage to get stacks up for the Medusa, then I think you're cruising this game.
Tombstone's out. Telekinesis toss away. DJ actually needs to commit to the Tombstone, and no one's probably going to die for it. Yeah, they managed to get the deny on the Tombstone, and then shortly after, DJ falls. So, very clean kill for Quest as they continue to win their safe lane.
And TA2000 just having a dream start here. Free farm, shared first blood gold, and another kill. He hasn't even had to buy any regen. Literally zero of his gold has gone into regen. You can't ask for anything stronger.
That's true. That is the dream carry laning phase. Not having to buy any regen.
Who gets stunned? Ola.
Keep fighting this one. Jackie trying to help out, but it's just not good enough.
Didn't even get Jingu.
Yeah.
This game is already looking rough early.
What about mid? Sure, let's look away from... Oh, God, we're going to watch Ice, Ice, Ice. He's going to maybe die into this decay. It's level 2. Yeah. Yeah, it's
level 4. Here are you down here? Absolute monster.
What about mid, though? Surely mid's going all right? Yeah, we're winning mid.
Even. I think you want to be up a little more, but
that's true.
It's good enough. You'll at least be able to play through the Snapfire here. Or I guess you will have to play through the Snapfire here as you don't have a choice. What is happening here?
I don't know, but a very awkward situation now that he's got boots.
Oh,
Gets it.
Got the
oh, got him with the Fade Bolt before the neutrals can go for the deny. Meanwhile, Amar kills Jackie here.
Not able to get the Jingu up. Just goes down to the burst. I mean, if you got that neutral creep deny, honestly, is that it? Is that is that the series?
Just tap out.
I mean, you have to get kills with the kisses. It feels like because your side lanes are going real rough.
I know, like, I believe this is legit and everything, but it is very funny that Amar gets a kill and then immediately has to pause the game.
It is legit.
His team is backing him up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We'll never know. I like to live in a world where it was Amar beat Amar.
Yeah. Just decided it was time for a BN pause.
Yeah, that's the reality I prefer. As Quest are going to bring 3 heroes mid with a ward. They are looking for Corden. No kisses online, and that is a stone skirmish.
As long as they get the blast off to follow it up, that should be enough. The Faithbolt's actually going to help a bit here, slowing down the right-click damage, but Quest gets over the line eventually.
Another successful rotation. Solo XP for both side laners, and Bleed cannot find the punish. Monkey King pick has not yielded a single kill in the early game. Not a good sign.
No, I would say it's a pretty terrible sign.
I guess you do have this like Fade Bolt Atrophy aura double base damage reduction to fall back on.
Yeah, I mean, if they can actually hit him with a Fade Bolt and get the Underlord on top of the Dusa, her damage is going to be extremely low.
It's nice for us to do so. It's nice for us the Ember. I mean, you have 3 right-click cores for quests that don't do well into the double minus base damage, but the Brood also has bonus damage. Ember might not be in the range for it. And sometimes Dusa just doesn't care because she hits her timing too fast. So there are ways quests can get around it. However, if you get those levels up on Bleed, it will help you in the mid-game for sure.
Yeah. You combine all that with a Crimson Guard, you're invulnerable.
Good. It does sound pretty good.
Sounds better than 13% to me.
So I'm not going to rule Bleed out of this. Jackie is going to go Battle Fury. It's going to be slow. It's going to be a slow game for us. Like, you're building Battle Fury on a Monkey King who's 0-1 and 0, and the other lanes didn't go amazing. Ice is continuing to get pressured here.
Heroes rotating around from behind, and the Monkey King's going to TP in.
Yeah, that snake was not the biggest. Yeah. 2000, he might just go down here.
I think he is. If Dubu can somehow get in front of him, he had some regen to be able to cut through. Oh, man.
Ooh,
Don't
tree
tell
cut.
me. Oh, nice tree cut, TA2000. If he just keep himself alive with that, they're going to stomp him. Okay. Now he's got to be dead. Jeez, that took a while.
Well worth it, though.
They did trade off heroes to Snapfire Time Bay.
I mean, Jackie getting involved is just a necessity at this point. He's going to gate back top to try and deal with the Brood. Of course, Corden did go down mid despite having 1500 HP early on the snap. The Techies connection proving too deadly, and now you're taking a bunch of mid-tower damage. Nobody wants to defend this for Bleed. Don't even have the gate point up yet. Price is holding it. We'll find a Martov with double.
Can they punish him? The lifesteal versus lifesteal. He's trying to stay in melee range of... Oh, barely got clipped by that one, but he was probably dead anyway. Nowhere he could really run to.
So Bleed are going to sacrifice mid-tower to get that Brood kill. I think that's an okay option here. I would have liked if they could have done both. If Ice could have had the resources to go mid and defend this tower, because I don't think the threat was too high there. But this Brood kill is pretty nice for Jackie again. Pushing his XP up, helping him get to this Battle Fury timing they're going to need.
Omar already level 6. So,
yeah,
again, the experience advantage for Quest.
They are up 2 levels here in this early game. Continuing to apply the skirmish pressure between those two supports. I mean, how many times have we seen Techies undying in the last month? I feel like this is the de facto support duo.
I actually feel like if they can actually hit him with a Fade Bolt and get the Underlord on top of the Dusa, her damage is going to be extremely low.
It's nice for us to do so. It's nice for us the Ember. I mean, you have 3 right-click cores for quests that don't do well into the double minus base damage, but the Brood also has bonus damage. Ember might not be in the range for it. And sometimes Dusa just doesn't care because she hits her timing too fast. So there are ways quests can get around it. However, if you get those levels up on Bleed, it will help you in the mid-game for sure.
Yeah. You combine all that with a Crimson Guard, you're invulnerable.
Good. It does sound pretty good.
Sounds better than 13% to me.
So I'm not going to rule Bleed out of this. Jackie is going to go Battle Fury. It's going to be slow. It's going to be a slow game for us. Like, you're building Battle Fury on a Monkey King who's 0-1 and 0, and the other lanes didn't go amazing. Ice is continuing to get pressured here. Body box for days.
Just not having a good time. Now there are 2 heroes rotating around from behind, and the Monkey King's going to TP in.
Yeah, that snake was not the biggest. Yeah. 2000, he might just go down here.
I think he is. If Dubu can somehow get in front of him, he had some regen to be able to cut through. Oh, man.
Ooh,
Don't
tree
tell
cut.
me. Oh, nice tree cut, TA2000. If he just keep himself alive with that, they're going to stomp him. Okay. Now he's got to be dead. Jeez, that took a while.
Well worth it, though.
They did trade off heroes to Snapfire Time Bay.
I mean, Jackie getting involved is just a necessity at this point. He's going to gate back top to try and deal with the Brood. Of course, Corden did go down mid despite having 1500 HP early on the snap. The Techies connection proving too deadly, and now you're taking a bunch of mid-tower damage. Nobody wants to defend this for Bleed. Don't even have the gate point up yet. Price is holding it. We'll find a Martov with double.
Can they punish him? The lifesteal versus lifesteal. He's trying to stay in melee range of... Oh, barely got clipped by that one, but he was probably dead anyway. Nowhere he could really run to.
So Bleed are going to sacrifice mid tower to get that brood kill. I think that's an okay option here. I would have liked if they could have done both. If Ice could have had the resources to go mid and defend this tower, because I don't think the threat was too high there. But this brood kill is pretty nice for Jackie again. Pushing his XP up, helping him get to this battle fury timing they're going to need.
Omar already level 6. So, yeah, again, the experience advantage for Quest.
They are up 2 levels here in this early game. Continuing to apply the skirmish pressure between those two supports. I mean, how many times have we seen Techies Undyne in the last month? I feel like this is the de facto support duo.
I actually feel like I haven't seen it on the same team that much.
What are you talking about? We just watched an entire Dream League tournament where it was first phase Undying Techies from Gaming Gladiators for 30 games in a row.
Well, that's just because Gaming Gladiators won the game. Won the tournament.
Well, they could have picked something else.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
2,000 net worth lead for Quest. They're taking early towers. Amar is, despite that gank, free farming. I feel like Jackie versus Amar might be Amar's like wet dream. There's just not a carry in his lane. He could just sit there and farm and get big.
Flesh Golem on Flesh Golem.
Yeah, a little bit
bigger than the other though. You get the tombstone out of this, so Bleed take a successful skirmish. With Jackie continuing to farm.
Look at him still playing for kills. They're going to jump down on Corden. Oh no!
That's a double damage.
He did not expect them to be this aggressive. But there's nothing really to punish him at this point. Now that Corden's dead, look at him just diving past the tier 2, no problem. Okay, Glyph's going to be used. That makes it a little bit harder to dive. Let's chill out.
I mean, Corden is the early game. This Snapfire, if he goes down first, you take all the damage out of the fight. Especially when you have ET, who's an amp hero, who wants to amp the spell damage from the mid. I mean, they removes 2 heroes for the price of 1. DJ, he's had a quiet game on this Rubik. This is the time where you have ult up early to try and get him involved. Let him win you the skirmishes off the spell steals, but he needs the mid to combine it with. Every time Corden goes down on the snap, he is at 3 deaths. It costs Bleed so much in the early portion of this game, especially when these 2 Silings are just being out-farmed. Like the Dusa and the Brood are accelerating way faster than your Underlord Monkey here.
Sure. That's just natural. Broodmother's going to do that. Monkey King can't possibly keep up until you actually have your Battle Fury complete, but considering how active he's been and hasn't actually resulted in many kills.
Yeah, Jackie's had to stem the bleeding.
Yeah.
I can't even put his net worth on him, and he's still the best of his team.
Yeah, I feel like Jackie is always having to stem the bleeding.
It does not help his game a lot of times. As a quick smoke will come out. I mean, this is a smoke intended to bring the gate in with Underlord, find the Brood, lock her down off a stomp.
Bounty.
This is an expensive smoke, though. This is a lot of time, a lot of movement for low probability connection, as Amar is just eating up Lotuses. It's not even close to him.
Flight reveals Corden. Stomp's going to come in. That's going to create a little bit of a diversion here, allowing them to reset, focus on the Tombstone. Once they dealt with that, they can deal with the Undying in true form. Omar is going to be in a bit of trouble as he actually jumps into that blast off and is going to be blasted away. Boundless Strike and Mortimer Kisses. So both supports die in that engagement. Thinking perhaps 2 little Bleeds rotations or something, but Bleed more than willing to bring numbers to fights like this.
Gate maybe caught him off guard a little bit as Bleed can bring all 5, whereas the Brood and the Dusa were nowhere close to that fight. Just gotten severely outnumbered despite hiring a Tombstone. So Bleed will strike back a bit, wear out that haste from Noob as well. He doesn't get a lot of value out of it. But T2000 is starting to go to work on that triangle. And this is where the Dusa is really going to pull ahead if you can't get the Monkey Battle Fury online or you're not winning these fights.
Cookie stun, another nice pick off on the supports. And because they're together, Noob is actually struggling to be able to get picks in return.
This is where the 3 heroes for Bleed are very strong. When the Snapfire has resources, you can go in with the Atos setup and throw the ET and Rubik spells on top. Level 4 Sticky Bomb for DJ is going to be super nice here. This is when the single target damage kill threat is incredibly high, and Quest are not going to have an answer to it because sustain is not there yet. This is when you would like to get more of those. They will also trade Wisdom Runes. Very nice for Jubu, as he wants as many levels in natural order up as fast as possible, I think, this game. And they're even going to find a Mar on a Wukong.
Okay, can they lock him down long enough? It's going to be close, but he does get out of the Wukong's command. And the Stomp's going to come in. Amar actually dodged back around it. He wants to go for the kill. He's trying with the, oh man, that lifesteal just healed him up to full almost.
What was that?
He did lose his micro though, so it looks like DJ was able to, or excuse me, our Elder Titan was able to get away. Amar is still being chased down by Jackie though. He's running out of webs.
Definitely suspicious.
Wow, you missed that boundless strike. That's rough. Meanwhile, Ice's Eyes, Stone Gaze, trying to get in front of him, but they don't actually commit that much. He's going to need some TP rotations to save him. In fact, TP away, and maybe Corton can just be left with a kill. But Kiori's already gotten a lot of decay stacks, so this is not that easy. In fact, Noob is going to join in.
Come back, brother.
Where'd he come from?
Ice. I should have gone with you.
Maybe he should have.
Another Snapfire death. This is the one hero you don't want dying in this part of the game. And your tier 1 tower is dead again too. Just something that happened game 1. Or that we saw earlier, sorry, from the Shopify series. Like, when you lose all of your tier 1s this fast by 15 minutes, your map just collapses. You're down 3 tier 1s to 0.
I feel like particularly your offlane tower.
Yes. Especially with the deep observer they have. They just see everything down here. It's going to make every move so easy because you know where the numbers are for lead. That was like the one thing that was working for them. This game 2 is looking as almost one-sided as game 1 already. 6k gold lead. TA2000 is absolutely out of control. And Battle Fury just finished for Jackie. So finally he can start to keep pace. But he's been on spider duty the whole game. And there's nobody else who can really stand here.
Yeah, considering the fact that Jackie has been kind of your bulwark to stem some of the early bleeding that's been happening. He's been a tourniquet. Having him stuck in this lane against Broodmother, that's not going to feel too good.
Not doing him favors, and he's dead.
Especially if he's going to die like this, which nothing you can do to stop that, really. You don't have any saves on the side of bleed. Now Noob's going to be able to catch DJ, but he had the Remnant Steel still, so he's good.
You're going to have to combine heroes here soon for bleed. Cannot give Quest this much space with the cores that they have. You just slurp it up.
Nice telekinesis onto the high ground.
I think he's actually out, though.
Oh, no. He is, isn't he?
That feels bad.
Oh, that feels terrible.
I mean, that is Undying. This hero is very tanky. He's a lane-winning melee hero with decent strength gain, decay, and ult. That is why he is first pick. Not a lot of melee 5s that can do what this hero does.
And gives you roach-taking potential, which Quest are getting to a point that I feel like they could do it at any time. They're maybe not the fastest at doing it, but I think Undying, Tombstone, plus Golem, and then whoever else wants to hit.
They could definitely do it anytime they want.
They could definitely do it.
The brood damage, you have little orb corrosion from the Ember, the Flesh Golem amp. The zone control in the pit is really good as well between the Stone Gaze and the Tombstone. So yeah, they're not worried about that. I think they're just happier getting what they're getting off the map right now.
Yeah, just better not to let Bleed get a chance back into this game. Not even a couple minutes of farming. Not even 30 seconds.
He even got his courier. I mean, DJ can Remnant, but his chicken can't.
And Amar is cleaning up top lane while they're getting these kills at bottom. They are literally just winning everything. What is this? Corton dead? Is this a team wipe? That's a team wipe.
I feel like this game is just over here. Like, what are you doing in this game right now? You're doing absolutely nothing. I'll tell you what you're doing. You're
dying.
You're just giving better stats to Quest right now.
Tap out now before their KDA gets too big.
I mean, it's a 12k lead. It doubled in the last 3 minutes here as the entire map collapses. I go back to you're losing 3 tier 1s pretty early here. You have nobody who can really fight the Broodmother top. I mean, maybe the micro wasn't outstanding from Amar, but it doesn't goddamn matter when his hero just outfights everybody anyway.
Yep.
He's so ridiculously farmed. He has a full BKB done. You don't have BKB control here. Manta is done for TA2000, so now he's going to be able to aggressively scout and shove lanes more. You just got to group 5 heroes and hope you get a team fight. I don't see any other way in this game. Abuse natural order as much as you can. They're going to find Yori, but he already has a 4-staff done.
Yeah, they definitely didn't see that one coming. Omar goes for the blast off. I think that is suicidal, but he does enough damage that the cores can slip in from behind and kill one at least. They'll get DJ as well. So Jackie and DJ both fall. Quest have total control over all the lanes, and Amar is hitting the tier 3 already with his spiders.
I don't even know if he's going to have to use BKB this game.
Yeah, it does seem pretty free. Boy, what a demoralizing loss this is going to be for Bleed. Like, how do you start your tournament this way and feel
Just over.
Yeah, GG. Wow, sub 20-minute game.
There's not much to say. They got eviscerated. From the lane stage to the mid game to, I want to say, the late game, but we never got to a late game in these games.
We never got to a mid game.
Yeah, barely anything. I feel like Corden just got outclassed in these like 3-on-3 fights. It's not only on him, but I go to Corden and the 2 supports here for Bleed. They never got anything going versus Noob and what he was able to do with the 2 supports. And then your 2 side lane matchups are pretty bad in the vacuum. Like, Jackie can stand against Amar, but he's not out farming him. He's not stopping him. And then at some point, the Brood's just killing your monkey. It becomes a pressure point that should have been the one area that wasn't. This offlane Underlord did nothing to stop TA2000 getting to an incredibly fast Manta. They weren't even close to invading Triangle. I have nothing good to say about Bleed's performance this series. They need to step it up, or it's going to continue to be embarrassing. Best of luck.
Yeah, you don't want to be going home early here in the Bali Major. So Bleed, they're going to have to do a total 180 after this series, and I wish them the best of luck. Meanwhile, Quest continue their domination. I believe they're up to now 7 series of W's in a row. Looking good as we clear off the first 2 series of the day.
Hell of a streak from Quest as they continue the dominance that they showed in the Riyadh MENA qualifier. Meanwhile, Bleed, you gave me 10%.
It was too high.
It was too high. You were being optimistic when you said 10%.
No, I mean, the game kind of went as I expected.
Yeah.
If you had one thing go wrong, one piece of the puzzle didn't fit, everything's just going to fall down. And that's exactly what happened. The Monkey King, he had to have a good laning stage. He had to, in my opinion, get a Diffusal Blade and chase down this Medusa. But he lost his lane, went for Battle Fury. It's only a matter of time.
And now we can add another hero to a Mars list, I suppose. You can play Broodmother. Who would have thought?
I mean, I think... Sorry, I'm just very bothered by the Fury on the Monkey King. He take me back to the Natsumi era. Like,
oh god. Why did you invoke the name? I see Winter's eyebrow is twitching after you say that.
I won't even go there.
Okay.
Gordon is enough to switching on.
We're being harsh enough as it is. That's because we have high expectations for SCA and an SCA major, and this was not good.
Not me. I mean,
not you.
Everyone, I guess the casters, you guys all watch a lot of SCA,
yes.
But I watched Western Europe and Quest. They're a damn good team.
Sure.
Right? So, like, we'll need more sample size to see if Bleed is really that weak right now, or is Quest that good?
That's
That is going to be the question. And Quest might be that good. We'll see.
But the fundamentals also for Bleed are lacking a bit.
The laning especially, I felt like the laning was really bad, especially the ice. Like, he got level 1 aura. I felt like that lane shouldn't be that bad. Sure, it was a hard lane for him, but he shouldn't be so far behind the Dusa. Like, it should be at least close to a 50-50 lane. You can't stop the Dusa from farming, but you should also still have your own farm in that lane. So what I envisioned was supposed to happen is you get the Firestorm at level 1, you shove off the wave with the Rubik Fable, you make sure you secure the range creep. Either one of those 2 heroes can go pull. Even the Underlord could do the pulling. Just drag the wave back, let the Rubik last hit the lane. There is no way that the lane should have gone that bad, at least for me.
Yeah, even DJ lost his magic. He died trying to take the tombstone last hit. I'm like, what is he doing? As if the lane is not bad enough.
This is like the sad part about after watching the draft, right? And watching the laning stage. It felt like no matter what happened, even if that lane went well, things are going better, the game's even, it was just hopeless. Just purely outdrafted. Completely and utterly outdrafted in that game number 2.
Also because even as the heroes were getting picked, I was like, oh, Quest are picking a very 7.33D lineup, and Bleed are picking a very Tour 3 DPC lineup. It seemed outdated, like the way their first phase, not picking the freaking top tier Medusa and Undying. Undying was first pick, so you're not gonna get that one. But not going for Medusa or Timbersaw after that seems crazy to me.
I mean, there was no Timber either. That was
Oh, that's
banned.
true. Timber was banned also.
They can't take the Medusa because then Amar would pick his his offlane anti-mage. They just had him checkmate from the...
What about Techies? They could have taken Techies.
Yeah, they could have.
Techies.
But they still would have taken Deuce and got checkmated there. I think they just strategically just were outthought there, I guess.
I suppose.
Outsmarted.
Yeah, and I mentioned that this Ember don't have to be the star in this game. He just needs to do what he needs to do. It's the Medusa, it's a Brute. The Brute came in last, but yeah, it's about the Medusa and the Brute, and all he really needs to do is just secure his 6 and then just be the warden for one side of the map. And in this game, it wasn't even either side because his side runners won so much. He didn't need to do anything for them, but he's also kind of like gatekeeping Bleed at the mid, you know, like he's one person taking the mid lane farm and then just being in Bleed's jungle. There's nowhere Bleed could go. And on top of that, the Monkey King went for Fury, like there's totally no hope, you know, they can't even take a fight.
You know what I've learned?
Tell me.
So far, 4 games.
Snap.
We watched 4 games, right?
We have watched
And
4 games.
Every game has been like 20 minutes
Yes.
about.
They've
And the
quick
team
games.
that experimented have all lost in 20 minutes.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
The Enigma, both games in the Shopify Liquid series, the Enigma's lost, which I consider experimentation. In game 1, what aspect of Bleed's draft was the most experimental?
You're just giving away better meta heroes and you're picking like the Monkey King carries, which are still okay, but they're not cream of the crop, you know, they're not the meta heroes. And then same thing in this type of game too. Like they're still heroes within the realm, but they're not picking the OP shit, you know?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
So
OP stuff is winning.
I mentioned Timbersaw at the first phase. What I actually had in mind was, why didn't Bleed first phase Broodmother? Can you get away with that? Or no? You're all giving me very skeptical looks.
I think the problem is they are overconfident in themselves. I feel both games, the first game is they picked the Timbersaw and the Wind Ranger. Like I said, the 3 and 4 can't be competing against each other for farm. But they felt that good because they banned the Morphling. Like they felt like, oh, no one can counter us now. But that's not the case because now the problem is you can't play with your team as usual. That's not what you usually do. And then in game 2, it's like you pick Rubik and Snapfire, and I already feel like DJ is kind of stuck. He's stuck on either of those heroes. He can't be the playmaker for the team. And I feel Bleed has gotten so far because DJ is allowed to cook. And DJ hasn't been allowed to cook for both games.
Put him back in culinary school. Maybe that's
Put
the
him in the
solution.
kitchen.
Put him back in the kitchen.
I mean, they need to play the lane. If they can't play the lane, I feel like it doesn't matter what you draft, you know. Like, you're just gonna lose, you know. If you lose all 3 lanes like this, they just need to figure out the fundamentals of what they have to be doing in the laning phase and just try to start from there. You know. They need to start somewhere, and the laning phase is a good place to start.
All right. Well, I can't hear anything, but I'm assuming we have another series to get to soon. And unless you have any more thoughts on this series, thoughts?
I mean, do you want me to have thoughts?
No,
All
I
right.
don't think we need thoughts. Instead, we can get ready for Tundra versus Team Spirit, which will be the next series on this